Hi, Big Tractor Power fans. This video comes to you from a cornfield located on the Kentucky-Tennessee border near the town of Adams, Tennessee, where 5 model year 2022 John Deere S790 Combines are harvesting the crop, equipped with John Deere C12R 12-row 30-inch corn heads. These machines feature a special 75th anniversary decal marking over 7 decades of John Deere self-propelled combine production. The S790 is a Class 9 machine powered by a 13.5-liter John Deere 824 cubic inch diesel engine rated at 543 engine horsepower. The S790 is fitted with a 330-gallon diesel fuel tank. It features a 30-inch diameter rotor for threshing grain and has a 400 bushel grain tank storage capacity, which can unload at 3.8 bushels per second from a 28.5-foot unloading auger. According to JohnDeere.com, from model year 2022, the S790 Combine has a list price of $740,672. The C12R Cornhead has a list price of $164,753. Now that you know a little bit about the S790, I would like to take you for a ride in the Combine's cab to visit with the farmer Billy and talk with him about what he likes in operating this big machine, his history in running John Deere Combines on his farm, and what he likes about harvesting with the S790, covering 11,000 acres of corn on his farm each year.
Hi, Billy.
Hello.
Nice day for combining corn.
Yeah, it is. I like to get rained out to get some rain on my beans, but it's a good day. Crazy year.
Too much water, too little water.
Yeah, it's hard to believe it was too wet at first. Corn this year making 300, come out of there and it'll rise up about 2 foot and go to 0.
Oh, that's not good.
No, but it's not all over, it's just in areas.
Well, I guess the lower spots with the higher yields help out for the higher spots with the lower.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, this year's the 75th anniversary of John Deere Combines, and your S790s have that special decal.
Yeah.
What was the first John Deere Combine that you ran on your farm?
7700.
They were big machines in their day.
Oh man, we thought we were in heaven on that combine. It did a wonderful job for its time.
What kind of combines did you have before the 7700?
We had gleaners, but they were older. I mean, they were good combines. It's just that combine just had more capacity, and it was I think one of Deere's great moves in the combine market when they came out with that one. For what was, the standard in combines for all companies around.
So what, the 7700 was their big one in the 70s. What size cornhead were you running on it back then?
6 rows.
What kind of grain head did you have? Was it a 20-foot or a
Well,
24?
we started out with 16 foots.
Okay.
We had 115, 116, and then just shortly after that, went to a 20, and probably the next year went to a 24. It was pretty quick getting to 24. Now 24, we stayed for several years. It seemed they did a good job of those heads. They were think actually the 20 and 24 foot headers floated better than 15 and 16 foot headers. The wider width gave it, I think it gave it more room to work.
When did you first go to a 12 row head?
I can't remember if we had a 12 row with an 8820 or I think it was probably when we got our first rotor combine, rotary. You know, I'm not positive. I can't remember.
Well, I know you had the 1293s on the 9610s
Yes.
back then, before the 9750s.
You're right. 96. That's probably when we did it. I can't remember. It's right in that time. It must have been after it had to be in the 9600s, 9610s.
Do you have a favorite combine over the years that you've run, or just keep getting better?
They all just seem to continue improving, to be honest with you. You know, improving and more capacity. They made some nice improvements. Even, you know, I fuss about the emission stuff on the combines, but they've done well. We had to have a learning curve on them. We learned if they wanted to regen, if it was when we were quitting at 12 or 1 o'clock at night, you stayed with the combine until they regen.
Do what it was going to
if
do.
that was 30 minutes or
Sure.
whatever it was. You know, since then, you know, we hadn't had to do that. But there for about 2 years, if it was regening, we stayed with it. Let it do its process.
So when I first met you, you were actually trying out a 9750, the first rotary combine. Was that a big change for the farm to go to the rotary Deeres, or?
Oh, sure. There was just more capacity, and you know, I didn't have a complaint with the cylinder machines, but the rotors, and I think they probably handled. At the same time, we were probably doing a better job with weed control. So I don't know. The two combinations probably went together.
Sure.
I can remember shelling corn and you couldn't hardly see the road for the Johnson grass, you know, or even cutting beans. You know, we'd have a lot of weeds out there. You see a few now. Of course, these don't cause us any problem, but these just came after the corn started drying up and showed a lot more hair.
No more canopy.
That's right. So when you look across the field, it's very few weeds, but I mean, they just now showing up. You can kind of tell where they're heaviest is, you know, where the corn would be the thinnest, or the canopy would not be. Actually, the stands are good everywhere. You got great stands.
Here we can see the 29.5 foot unloading auger swing out. Unloads at 3.8 bushels per second. Really pours some corn out. It up on there. So you're able to run, like right now you're running just over 4 miles per hour? Or?
That's, well, we've been running right around 4 mile an hour this whole season.
Well, 790s definitely have a lot of power to get through.
The only, last night I had an alarm come on low power for one time. It was the first time I had done it the whole season. I was going up a pretty steep hill and pushed it a little bit. Oh, they're really done a nice job.
Have you had a chance to try one of the X9 combines?
We have. I really, it's a great machine. It's got lots and lots of capacity. We used it in wheat, and when it starts getting a little tougher out cutting wheat, you know, you'll have to get down to always they get down to 2 mile an hour, 1.5 miles, and that machine was able to pull that 45-foot header in that same condition, 4 mile an hour. So
that's pretty good.
It's got tremendous capacity on power, and wheat is the toughest thing we could. I'm a little slow about going to that machine because of corn, because I feel like you would need a 16-row head to utilize that capacity, and to move from a 24-row corn planter to either go down to a 16 or a 32-row. The 32-row just don't seem to resell near as well as that 24-row. We're a little slow on that means. And in soybeans, these machines do a great job for the speeds that I like to run anyway, which is somewhere around the same speed with a 45-foot head. So on these machines, it would definitely help us in wheat harvest. So
well, there's always a lot to consider just beyond
it is
the machine.
And they want to charge, you know, on a resale, they want to charge more per hour. So if I don't utilize that capacity in beans or corn, it's going to make my cost per acre higher for those machines. I think it will come.
Sure.
I think the market for a bigger planter is going to come. It's just been slow to get there.
Well, definitely be interesting to see what happens. So how have you liked this C12R corn head? It comes with a stock stomper, so it looks like it kind of smooths out the field.
It does. The reason that I use those is not so much for what it does here. It keeps them from destroying my rear tires on the combine. We were almost had to, after I got ready to replace, trade these machines, we'd have to put a set of tires on the back to be able to resell them for what they should have brought. And these stalk stoppers are protecting our rear tires. So I think it's a good investment.
Certainly, because the tires are not inexpensive.
No, it's tires are probably have doubled in the last 5 years, cost-wise, if you couldn't get them.
So this corn head also kind of has that wishbone finger, which lets the combine be automated to follow the rows here.
Yes.
And
we're tracking right now with the feelers on the one row. It's telling me for some reason it's kicking out of the feelers, but it only does it for a very short time. Either it didn't sense a stalk or I don't know exactly why it's doing that. It shouldn't do it quite so much, but you'll hear it come back on. When they're green, that means it's sensing. So as soon as that warning comes up, I notice that before the warning's away, it's already back to green. So it's only doing that for maybe a couple of seconds for some reason. We also have sensors in 3 places on the height.
Okay. And the corn head also has the light up snouts on the tips that help out in the evening, or?
They do. I mean, it's pretty neat looking, but it's useful. I'm with the corn, I can watch the end of it. I really like the feature.
And technology-wise, you've got 5 790s out here. You can track each other with your guidance systems on the talk to each other.
Yes, it's well, it's kind of hard to tell right here, but yeah, it's tracking all 3. We're sharing of 5 different machines, so the information is coming back as long as that says for every machine that's running.
I hope that you've enjoyed spending some time out in the field with and riding in the cab of the model year 2022 75th anniversary John Deere S790 Combine harvesting corn. I'd like to hear in the comment section below this video if you run a John Deere Combine on your farm. Tell me about the crops that you're harvesting with it. If you've enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to Big Tractor Power YouTube, where there's over 2,000 videos of farm machines in action. If you would like to see more harvesting content from the channel, continue to watch for a few more seconds to the end screen for a direct link to more Big Tractor Power YouTube videos. As always, thank you for watching.